Family name?
Järvi.
First name?
Paavo.
Paavo. Place of birth?
Tallinn, Estonia.
Nationality?
Estonian and American.
Proud American?
Very.
Instrument?
Percussion.
And?
Piano. And I studied violin when I was very young.
Any criminal records?
Not yet.
So, first accusation, terrible ecological balance. With all your flights between Estonia, Germany and Japan, you collect a lot of minus points on your ecological balance sheet. Why do you think climate change is fake news?
I don't think it's fake news. I think it's the most important news that doesn't get enough coverage.
Do you have compensation, save whales, carry frogs over the street, live vegan?
I would carry the frogs if I would be close enough to a frog. But I do actually have an environmental streak in me. I feel very responsible. I never leave a hotel with lights on. I have two girls, one is 11 and one 14, and if I brush my teeth and the water is running, they run to me and say, Papa, you don't waste water.
Good. We have maybe a suggestion for you. You stay chief conductor in Bremen at the Deutsche Kammerphilharmonie. You give up your jobs in Estonia and Japan and take over the orchestra in Hamburg, Elbphilharmonie Orchestra, and the Oldenburgische Staatsorchester, and so you can do all the traveling by
bicycle.
train, by bicycle, by feet, maybe.
Let me think about it. You maybe are onto something, but there is something irresistible. These are very fine places, but if you would then go to Japan or United States, China,
That isn't then possible anymore.
then you miss a certain variety that I think in my life is very important. I get bored easily.
Next accusation, schizophrenic director.
Schizophrenic maybe is a too hard of a word, but if you start thinking of a profession like a conductor, that's a really very strange profession. You tell everybody what to do and you don't make any sound. And then everybody said, this conductor has a great sound.
Your voice.
There's no voice, there's no sound. So on one hand, it's the musicians who make the sound. On the other hand, you are also on stage during the performance where they don't necessarily need a pedantic teacher, they might need a performer. So it's a little bit like a film director who goes and rehearses the actors, but then also plays one character.
What is your favorite part of the work of a conductor?
And not necessarily rehearsing from very beginning of the orchestra, because I think the goal is to have an orchestra that is already so good that they start on such a high level that you only deal with interesting things like musical ideas rather than technical things.
Quoting you, conducting is actually a profession for the second half of life. Why then have you already been conducting for the past 20 years?
Well, I think that in order to be a decent conductor in the second part of your life, you need to do a lot of conducting in the first part of your life.
What point of level are you now? 80%, 90% of?
To be honest with you, I am very superstitious, so I need to knock on wood because I hope at 55 I'm somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
But I might be wishful thinking wishfully.
And is it possible to reach the top?
That's the good part of my job. You can't reach the top. In this field, there is always more. You can go further because the success is not a question of fame or career. It's a question of inner ability to do better. It's not about clicks. It's not about ratings. It's not about trophies. It's not about how many Grand Slams you win. Just, can you do this better? Can you do this even better than yesterday? And I suppose if you have enough humility, you can feel you can do it better.
Next accusation, Paavo, drummer. Besides directing, you also studied percussion. Why not music?
Well, drumming is music.
Ah, really?
And percussion is music. But the inside story really is that my father, who is obviously a famous conductor, he was a percussionist. And he was the one who encouraged me to play an orchestral instrument. Even if most of the things you do is count rests and play one triangle, but it gave me an access to the orchestras and to see how musicians react to the conductor, what the conductor says, which conductors say good things, what are the bad things, what are the things that musicians don't like. It gives you an idea of the inner workings of the orchestra, which is very important.
You've been on the director's desk for many years now. We want to know, how much percussion can you still handle?
That my drumming days are finished.
Bolero?
I haven't played for 20 years, but this rhythm I know.
Next accusation, coward. You prefer to play with your own orchestras that you know well. You are not into guest conducting for 1 week. You find that unprofessional sometimes. Are all of your conductor colleagues amateurs then?
No, I don't think it's unprofessional. It is not as satisfying. It's exactly like having a long-term relationship or a one-night stand. It can be interesting and very exciting, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's very good. Because you need to know the person, you need to know the orchestra, orchestra needs to know you. You need to know this is the weakness and the strength of this person, this is what they do well, they need to know my weaknesses and my strengths. And then there needs to be a sense of togetherness, like we are the team, we are together. I'm not the guest who says goodbye and hello and leaves. It's the chemistry that is different when you're a guest. But to be clear, it can be also very good with a very good orchestra. You can be a guest and find, wow, this is a very interesting option. Maybe that's even better. So there are pluses and minuses.
Next accusation, self-hatred. Paavo, you don't like seeing yourself on TV. It's hard for you to hear your own recordings, etc. Why do you keep recording CDs and TV productions?
You're right. I don't.
Money?
No, we don't. You know, if we would have to live from the royalties of our records, we would starve.
Okay.
We would starve. It's not like rock music. The thing is that, unlike composers, we leave nothing behind. If you record something, you make a point in really leaving behind something that you have done specially and do it as well as you think you can do it.
Let's come to our last point here, the cross-examination.
Oh no.
Giving a concert for Trump in the White House or for Putin in the Kremlin?
Oh my God, this is impossible. You're putting me really into an impossible...
But you are an American.
Well, at this point in time, Even though I think both would not be acceptable for me, I would go for Putin.
Swimming in the ocean at 4 degrees Celsius or directing an open air concert at 40 degrees Celsius.
Open air concert at 40 degrees.
Despite sweating and...
You can't sweat to death,
Okay.
but you can freeze to death.
Hair transplantation, the hairdo of Gustavo Dudamel or Nemanja Radulovic.
Nemanja. Definitely, yes.
It's not more exciting.
It's longer.
Okay, thank you. I think the percussion playing was...
It was okay.
You are in the middle of your potential as a conductor, you said. So we give you the chance to bring it to the top.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too early to lock you up.
To lock you up now.
He's free to go.
Yeah, you are free to go. Here it is. Ich versichere bei Eide alle Fragen der Wahrheit, Truth, entsprechend beantwortet zu haben. Alles, was ich gesagt habe, kann und so. Ja, gut. Er ist einfach auch erfahren.
Ja, ja. Und er hat eine wahnsinnig schöne Unterschrift. Das
Ja, und das ist natürlich, ja, das...
Kunstwerk.
Danke.
Thank you very much. Danke. Danke.
Gut.